Matt, first of all, your thoughts on the 2-0 win today?
Tough test, really was. Look, conditions, opposition, that was a real, I've just said to the lads, that was a proper performance to win that game 2-0. To limit them to half chances, if any, to be honest with you, and still have the ability to score and be a threat. Look, it wasn't pretty at times, it was never going to be. Look, we're in the middle of a storm, the pitch just took a lot of water the last couple of weeks. But that was a proper performance. I'm pleased with it, really pleased. On the back of last week when we showed our ability for a small period of the game, today, even when it wasn't perfect and even when we were up against the win in the first half, we dug in, and I think it was it the Cheltenham game a few weeks ago here when I said we need to get in it at 1-0 or 0-0. We did that today, and then second half, they threw a few more bodies forward, but without creating too much. We had that threat about us. Jaden, obviously with a goal and then a disallowed goal, I thought we might score from a set piece because we got physical bodies in the box. Like I say, that was a proper performance.
You must be really pleased with the clean sheet as well.
Yeah, on the back of, I didn't dig people out, but I was honest with the group last week. Said we can't concede sloppy goals because we work so hard to score goals ourselves. So clean sheets are important. I'm pleased for Christie and the back four, and another confidence booster. But there's no surprise that they're an honest bunch, and then they try and take the feedback or the instruction or the direction we give them on board. But that was about gutsing it out at times today. It really was, and the goals were a bonus off the back of that.
And the first goal, it falls quite nicely. One man you want it to fall to, probably Jonathan Ford in the situation.
Yeah, definitely. And he's had to be slightly patient in terms of coming back since his injury, but he's scored goals. I think that's his 6th goal.
6 in 10.
Yeah, 6 in 10. There you go. He's a threat, and you can see that partnership in terms. I don't think Jaden won the first contact or won the first header, but he just disrupted their back line, and then Jono's in the right place. Look, he's getting older, but he's getting quicker and more mobile. Look, at the moment, I'm having to look after him a little bit in terms of the length or duration he plays. I want to keep him on for as long as I can because he gives us that outlet and he's got the raw pace you need. But when he came off, obviously Hiram did that job really well and just showed us up a little bit. And the only disappointing thing is obviously what happened to Chio coming on and within a minute damages his ankle. So look, we hope he'll go for an X-ray straight away. We hope it's not too serious. He's so disappointing because he's been similar to the rest of them. He's been so patient in waiting for that opportunity. He's so desperate to do well, and you could see he was upset, visibly upset when he came off. So, look, fingers crossed for Chio. It's just a twist as opposed to ligament or bone damage. And like I say, we'll find out sooner rather than later in terms of that.
Because the first half, Swindon probably saw a bit more of the ball, but they rarely threatened to cut through the defence, did they? Yeah,
look, I watched them play that formation on Tuesday night against Plymouth, and they blew him away. And that's no disrespect to Plymouth, and Swindon were excellent. And the front three who played on Tuesday night started the game today. So, look, I had an idea of the threat which was coming. We limited them to half chances. Look, every now and then the team's going to come in and have a bit more possession. We were against a hell of a breeze first half. You saw with Pimmy's kicks and even our fullbacks throwing it on the touchline. They couldn't get any distance whatsoever, and at times we couldn't get out, and sometimes you might have to just concede a bit of possession as long as you're solid. Defended the middle of the pitch and obviously our box really well. Look, the goal was a good goal from our point of view, and you get in at 1-0. That is, like I said, the proper performance second half, because that's what we should have done last week.
And Jaden, another header from him, he's doing really well at the moment, isn't he? And he could have had that incredible goal as well.
Yeah, I've not seen it back. I presume he might be in a yard, 2 yards offside, but look, he's confident at the moment. He really is. He had another header just over the bar, and I keep saying it, I say it every week in every interview. If you put balls in the box, then you're going to create chances off the back of it because he's a handful. He's the best in the lower leagues at it. So we need to play to those strengths, and look, we're delighted for Jaden, and it would have been the icing on the cake, I suppose, to top it off if that goal had gone in. But look, the clean sheet I'm delighted with.
Lee Holmes, back from injury, looked really good today.
Yeah, and he's similar. I've used Lee Martin and Lee Holmes together. They're both good players, both give us that threat. His delivery is excellent. He got the nod today in terms of his delivery, and a bit of freshness coming back into the team as well. And look, I've used the squad as best I possibly could, and anyone who steps into the team at any stage, whether they've played previously or not, has got to really want to stay in the team. We've been relatively successful at the moment in terms of second in the league. I believe we're second in the league, and you want to play in that team. Simple as that. And players have got to do that throughout the week. Reserve games, training, Monday, Friday, whatever day it is, and on a Saturday, it all matters. It really does. I've just said to the group that we're going to need everyone. You get one player back from injury, another one goes. But that's the way football goes, and we're all enjoying it at the moment. I think you can see the group are working hard together, and like I say, I'm pleased with the result.